Hey guys, what's going on? So today I have a discussion video, but first really quick, in the background we're listening to Infected Malignity with the Malignity Born from Despair. Really good brutal death metal from Japan, came out like 2005 or 6 I want to say. Anyways, so today we're going to be talking about the new SANGUISUGABOGG album. I'm sure everyone watching this video knows who they are. They've been practically inescapable for the past like 2 years or so. But if you don't know who they are, SANGUISUGABOGG is a death metal band from Ohio. They dropped a demo / EP, I'm not sure what you would call it, on Maggot Stomp about like, I think it was like 2019, like mid to late 2019. And it blew up. It was a very popular release when it came out, and it still is. I mean, they made like 1 million shirt designs. People would joke like, oh, SANGUISUGABOGG, the band who has more shirt designs than they do songs. You know, all the presses of the album on like every format sold out super quick. It was a really popular release. Personally, I thought it was a pretty good EP. It was part of that sort of generic kind of modern old school death metal style that I'm not a huge fan of, unless it's done very well. And I think that they did it very well. It was generic, but it was catchy and it was fun, and the lyrics were kind of cool too. They brought some of the like kind of old school, like gory, weird kind of lyrics to the table, which I thought was neat. And they finally dropped their debut album today, and it's just what I've been wanting from death metal for like the past couple years, honestly. I feel like with the modern scene, the whole old school death metal revival thing has become very stale and trite unless done, like I said, with really good songs. And this album mixes like 2000 slam and a little bit of 90s brutal death metal with old school death metal, and oh my god, it's so fucking cool. It's not like the best album ever or anything. It's not like, I wouldn't say it's like a big revolutionary album. It's definitely unique sounding, that's for sure. But what I like about it is that it adds life to a genre that's been fucking boring for the past few years. And it makes sense that they went in a more brutal direction because their vocalist Devin is in a few brutal death metal bands. He's in this band Limb Splitter, who's really cool. And just put out another release from another band. I forgot the name of them, but they were really good. It was on New Standard Elite. So obviously they have that brutal death metal sort of background. And with this release, they just went full brutal death metal. Not to mention, they got signed to Century. They're not a Maggot Stomp anymore. They got signed to Century Media. Big, huge fucking record label, obviously, owned by Sony. And they've kind of become, or they're becoming at least, a household name. I mean, after the pandemic is over, I could see them playing shows, touring, you know, with like the huge death metal bands like fucking Cannibal Corpse, you know, Black Dahlia Murder Obituary, etc. All those really big, super popular, like household name sort of bands, they're getting up there. And I think this album is cool as fuck because, one, it's on a huge label, and two, it is polarizing as fuck. A lot of people love this album because they like that SANGUISUGABOGG is mixing, you know, brutal death metal in there, because it literally has like vocals, like inhales here and there, and it literally has like a piece like snare. So like, oh my god, dude, people who like just listen to like flavor of the month kind of death metal releases are gonna have a really hard time liking this album, and I already are kind of a lot of them already are kind of having a hard time digesting it and don't really like it. And I think that's fucking great because this album filters out all the people who just listen to stuff because it's popular when it comes out. And a lot of the people who really do like this album are obviously the people who care more about the more extreme sort of variants of the genre. And I think that's really cool that a band this big, where on a label where you can literally get the CD from probably like Target or some shit, they put out an album with inhales and a pinky snare. I mean, SANGUISUGABOGG is literally, they've had articles about them in Rolling Stone magazine. They're so big at this point. And for them to put out an album this extreme, like being this big, I think that's so fucking cool. I think that either this album will be kind of a black sheep in the modern sort of old school death metal revival kind of scene, and a lot of people will love it or hate it, and then it'll just kind of fizzle out, and then, you know, back to business as usual with our generic $20 spin and Dark Descent releases. Or maybe this album will be really influential when a lot of people start playing more brutal kind of death metal, which I would fucking love if that were to happen, because I'm more of a brutal death metal kind of guy. And what this album does for the genre, it not only does it do stuff for old school death metal, but it It's an album that we've been needing for a while with brutal death metal, because my favorite style of brutal death metal was that super blasty sort of technical style. You know, the kind of bands that get put out on like New Standard Elite nowadays, like the Disgorge and Brodekin kind of clones. That's my favorite style of death metal. But at the same time, that's kind of all we've had with brutal death metal for the past like 15, maybe almost 20 years. It's been mostly blasturbation stuff, which I love, but it's been a while since we've had an album with like genuinely good songs that you could like tell the difference between, you know. We haven't had any new albums from bands, or we've had new albums from bands like this, but we haven't had new bands that sound like, you know, Viral Load, Dying Fetus, Moral Decay, Internal Bleeding, etc. You know, bands where you could tell the difference between the songs on the albums, and the songs were super memorable. And SANGUISUGABOGG bring that back, and I think that's so fucking cool. And, you know, they bring back the gory lyrics, which I just made a rant video a few months ago talking about how I wish that more new bands would use, like, edgy, juvenile, like, weird, gory lyrics. And, I mean, this band has, like, songs like Dick Fillet, or, like, it's called, like, Dragged by a Truck or something like that. I think that's fucking fun. And they don't take themselves too seriously either. Like, they have this, like, stupid shirt that says, like, I eat my own cum or something on it. They're, like, goofy, but they're not, like, a total joke band entirely. But, I think it's really cool that they were able to put out something this brutal on such a big label. I don't know. I'd like to see how far the influence of this album stretches. I don't know, like I said, if it'll just be a one-time thing, or if a lot of bands will want to sound like this. I hope it's a trendsetter sort of album, because it's fucking cool, and it's kind of a breath of fresh air. It's something that we need in the genre right now. Like I said, it's not the best album ever, but it's really fucking cool, and a lot of people who don't really like brutal death metal, or I don't know how to explain it. A lot of the reviews for this album that are negative translate to this album was too heavy for me, and I just want it to be progressive and deep and artsy, like Blood Incantation or like Gatecreeper or something. And I don't know. I think it's cool that such a polarizing album dropped, because it has a style that I really like. Now they'll filter out a lot of just people who don't care as much about the more extreme forms of the genre. I don't know, I'm repeating myself a lot, but basically this album was cool as fuck, and I just think it's the unique release that we really needed. Anyways, maybe I could be biased because I really like brutal death metal, or maybe not, I don't know. But let me know what you guys think. Do you guys like the new SANGUISUGABOGG album? Do you love it? Do you think it's okay? Do you not care? Do you think it's like the worst album ever? Let me know. But yeah, basically, if you don't like brutal shit for the most part, this album's not for you. But yeah, that's it for this video though. Hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.